Hey everyone. All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about preservation or progression. Okay, what's the correct approach when dealing with Disneyland Park? So I got a great question from a subscriber. I'm going to read you the full question and we're going to dig right in. The question comes from Peter Vasquez, and he's asking, Disneyland Anaheim is known for its preservation due to the fact that it is Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom. But at what point do you think it's acceptable for a ride that's been there, say, since opening day, to be taken out? For example, the current Fantasyland expansion has many fans saying they want a Seven Dwarfs Mine Train coaster. As a park goer, I think that would be awesome, but as an avid Disneyland fan, I would be disappointed to see the demise of Snow White's Scary Adventures, mainly due to the fact that Fantasyland is one of the very few main lands in the park that, for the most part, kept its original rides since 1955. What do you think wins or should win in the end? Preservation or progression? Well, Peter, thank you so much for your question. Now, before I answer, you brought up an interesting point here. You mentioned you like Snow White's you like the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but you don't want it because then we would lose Snow White's Scary Adventures. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that we have to choose between the Seven Dwarfs ride or Snow White. Disney has shown that they will put multiple rides, sometimes even in the same land, based on the same movie. One example of that is Paradise Pier has a King Triton's Carousel, and they also have the Little Mermaid attraction. There's also rumors that California Screamin' will become Incredibles, and there will be an Incredibles spinner on the pier as well. We also have Midway Mania, but at Disneyland we have Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters based on the same movie. So I think that we could get a Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and still keep our Snow White Dark ride. So I just wanted to kind of address that before I get started. But now the main question, what should win over? Progression or preservation? I don't think either one should be 100%. Okay, I think that we need, when it comes to Disneyland Park, the proper approach is balance. You don't want to have a park based purely on preservation, where nothing can be touched because it was there since 1955 and Walt had a hand in it. If we go by that mentality or those rules, then we never would have gotten this great new Fantasyland that we got in the early 80s. We would still be stuck with that medieval, kind of that cheap looking Fantasyland. So Disney has to, be bold enough to take a risk and to say, look, you know what, it opened in 1955, but we're still gonna try to improve this, or we're not afraid to take it out and put something better in there. Okay, risk-taking is very important, and Walt wanted the park to be a living, breathing thing and evolve and change. So I think that aspect of it is very important, okay? And to completely preserve the place like a museum, I think is counter to everything Walt wanted for this park. Now, with that said, I also don't think we should go completely in the opposite direction. I don't want to see a free-for-all, willy-nilly, doesn't matter what the structure or the attraction or the ride or whatever it is. It doesn't matter how long it's been there or the legacy. It's expendable and they can just bulldoze it. I don't want to see that either, okay? Some of these attractions, like Small World, Pirates, Haunted, the Castle, Sleeping Beauty's Castle, are national treasures, not even just Disney treasures. Some of these are national treasures. The castle is an American treasure. You cannot bulldoze that and improve it or expand it or do whatever. You have to leave it the way it is. Let it shine. That's been there. It's a treasure, okay? Same with Small World. Same thing. You can never get rid of that facade. It's an icon. Okay, so there is a limit to progress and there's a limit to preservation. And that's really the hardest part that CEOs and Disneyland presidents have when managing Disneyland Park, is knowing that proper balance. Some get it, they understand it, and they know when it's okay to improve and when it's not okay to improve or remove. Some don't. Okay, now if we're going to talk about 1955 attractions that I think are completely expendable, number one on my list is Autopia. I think Autopia's time has long passed. It has nothing to do with tomorrow. There's nothing they can really do with that attraction outside of making the vehicles hover above ground that will make that attraction fit in with Tomorrowland. It takes up a huge amount of real estate too. Okay, I really do think, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of heat in my comments section about this, but honestly, I really think it's time for Autopia to go. They could put an e-ticket in there or something way more impressive that's more tied with the theme of Tomorrowland, or even science fiction, something. Right now, Autopia is essentially, they're just go-karts. And I don't know. That's my opinion. I think they should, their time, that attraction has definitely come. And I think that Disney should look to replacing it. But, you know, other attractions, though, from like 1955, in my opinion, again, this is all subjective, should stay. You know, even though Dumbo isn't really like all too impressive of an attraction, it's an icon in and of itself. And I think that attraction should stay. So, again, it's all subjective. But, you know, to say, you know, we should either go preservation or progress, it can't be one or the other. They have to find a balance. That's the key in all of this, is to find that balance where you respect the past, but you also embrace the future and you let this park evolve. That's really Walt's vision. That's the spirit of Disneyland, is this ever-changing, evolving place where these creative people it's their sandbox and they can play in that and try new technologies and tell new stories. That's what Disneyland is all about. And I would be really depressed if they've ever lost sight of that and they just started to really make everything off limits and just let that place stagnate. That would be the worst thing you can do for Walt's legacy. Okay, in my opinion. So that is my opinion. Just to kind of recap, I think they got to find a balance. They got to find a balance, and it has to be a common sense balance where they look at each attraction in each area and find a real common sense solution to how to either improve, keep, or replace. Okay, there's really not like one answer that fits all. There isn't, because every land and attraction is different and it has different needs. So those are my thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on this subject matter? At what point is it okay to remove an attraction from 1955? Do you agree with me that it's a balancing act, that they really have to kind of weigh both? Or do you think that, you know, you can go full preservation or full progress and that's fine? What are your thoughts? Thank you guys so much for all your support. I really do appreciate it. Like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.